evening, everyone. My name is Dawn Rowe. I'm with the class of '81. And tonight we're going to talk a little bit about school history. I'm going to start with the Central School simply because that is the school that most of us in the audience tonight, that's where our memories were made. In 1938, the school was dedicated. The Port Byron Band was present and did a performance for the ceremony. One student in particular played a solo that evening, and that was Barbara Jean Venditto. The band at this time was under the direction of band leader Alvin Freeman. He joined the school in 1931, and he was Port Byron's first band director. He truly was Port Byron's version of a traveling music man. He went to several schools in the area and pitched a sales speech. He said, if you hire me, I'll come once a week, and after 12 weeks, we will do a concert. He did that and so much more. The band was very successful under his baton. This building was responsible for allowing Alvin Freeman to teach at Port Byron. Many of you are thinking, well, what does this have to do with school history? It has everything to do with school history. As you know, the American Legion at one time was a trolley station. This picture is a very rare picture. It is the building prior to the trolley station opening for business. If you look in the lower corner, you can see that the rails have not yet been installed. It opened for business in June of 1908. And if you look where the red arrow is, you can see the bell tower to the building that existed prior to the Central School. And that building was the Port Byron High School. This building was dedicated in 1900. The interior of the building is very different than our modern schools today. It contained the principal's office on the second floor and the auditorium. The rest of the school were very large open classrooms. This is a rare picture of the back of the school. I'm sure Neil O'Brien is having a risk assessment coronary looking at this picture. You can see how exposed the school was to the trolley tracks. Very little protection. There was one other building that existed prior to the high school. And this was the first large institution in Port Byron. It was called the Port Byron Free and Academy. It was incorporated in 1860. It recognizes the first graduate of Port Byron School District being in 1872. And that primarily, in my opinion, was because they changed their name to the Port Byron Union and Academy, which signifies that they were finally able to teach high school grade classes. This school also was a little different than our other previous schools, and that it also taught other types of courses, accelerated classes that would today be at the level of a junior college. In about 1879, there was another event that took place. And this event actually impacts us still today. And you're probably questioning what could happen over a century ago that we still experience today. And the answer to that is taxes. In 1879, the school district had taken money to, I guess, to build the free academy, and the loan to the state of New York had come due. And they owed approximately $14,000 at that time. That's a significant amount of money for that era. So to resolve it, they actually did a bond and mortgage, and at that time they sought permission to collect taxes from the school district to pay that mortgage. What we have here is what was out in the lobby earlier. It is the original bond from the Port Byron Free and Academy dated in 1879. This once belonged to the Port Byron Chronicle. It's on parchment paper, and this is the printer's proof. In my opinion, I believe that that's what this copy represents. So from the beginning, if you look at all the buildings that we have supported with our taxes from 1879, we've done an awful lot in this school district. We have much to be proud of. Thank you very much for your time. It has been a pleasure to speak for you this evening.